Subsequently, one was prepared by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, which was very, very similar to the one that was prepared by us in 2009. Right. What the President has done through P.B. Jayasundara and presented now is very different to that. I am no crybaby coming and saying, look, we don't like it. We want it to succeed, but we are certain that it will not succeed if you go with this kind of legislation. Thank you very much. People are saying Gotabaya Rajapaksa is a good man. He loves this country. Let's for a moment assume that is the case. He is going to be there for 3.5 years. Let us assume he wins again and he's there for another 5 years, 8.5 years. He's gone. I come and I appoint 5 other fellows. 20 years down the road, who knows who will come? He will appoint 5 other fellows. Then 40 years down the road, another fellow will come. He will appoint 5 other fellows. I say, how can you run a country like that? You see, you can't give a man complete authority. I mean, you're not appointing a director to the transport board, no, here. You're appointing a man or 5 women or 5 people with absolute control. Can make legislation, is not answerable to parliament, doesn't take the oath of allegiance, all of that. So, you see, the president has to be below the law. President can't be above the law. So, tell me if I'm wrong. Do you know, 40 years down the road, who will be the president? And this law, if it stays, right, is for 99 years. I said, let's use this as a policy lab. If this works, we'll try to relax some of the laws that exist in the rest of the country, right? So that we can move Sri Lanka as a whole to the next level, right? Now, having said that, this particular zone, I didn't want to call it the port city. If I had my way, I would have called it the knowledge city, right? Because what we are trying to bring here is technology intensive services. I always say this, to develop this country, we have to move from simple product and services producing country to complex products and services producing country. So therefore, we need to bring in the know-how. I don't agree with my colleague Harini that we have all the knowledge and technical expertise. We have to bring it in. So that is why we try to sign the Singapore Agreement. This government, which was in opposition then, my God, created such a hue and cry. You are trying to sign the Singapore Agreement. These people are saying, no, any foreigner can come and work. There is no limit, right? Whereas the Singapore Agreement was to say, you have to have so many people coming in. They also have to have certain qualifications above such and so on. So this is an absolute contradiction here, because they don't know what they stand for. One day they are saying, don't open up, right? Close up everything. Next day they are saying, let's open up, bring everybody in, right? If you ask my honest opinion, I want to open up, right? I'm not shy about speaking about this, and Sri Lanka needs to engage itself with the rest of the world. So Sri Lanka will benefit if the success can be then taken in policy terms to the rest of the country, but otherwise with jobs that will get created, people will they will come here, they want to play golf, they will go to Digana and play golf, they want to go and shop at Laksala or some place like that, they'll do that. They want to go to Bayleaf and have a beer on a Friday night, they will do that. So all that will be additions to the economy.
At a time like this, Dr. Harshal, let's not promote individuals having alcohol.
I'm saying not now, but what I'm saying is that's the plan, right?
Right.